This game's tutorial says that weapon ergonomics affects the speed at which you reload. Well, here's a stock M4 with a 30-round mag versus the same M4 with a 100-round mag that gives you -10 ergonomics. Do I have your attention yet? Alright, we have to start with some ergonomics myth busting. So, myth number 1. Ergonomics affects the speed you turn at. Okay, using a Mosin, which is notorious for bad ergo, and an M4 on the other side, I am running a script that turns my mouse the exact same amount every time. And every time my aim ends up at the same spot. Even when turning without ADS, which should be obvious, I still get the exact same turn rate. Myth 2. High ergo means higher weapon sway when you stop moving. Again, no meaningful difference. Or, when I'm turning, will I get higher weapon sway when I suddenly stop? Well, again, using my trusty script, let's test this. No perceivable difference. Last, let's check for weapon sway while aiming down sights. Again, no difference. Myth number 3. Ergonomics affects your side-to-side strafing speed. For this I'm using two M4s, default build versus full ergo build. Red dot added for visual consistency. As you can see, I seem to be traveling at the same speed while strafing with ADS. Myth number 4. Ergonomics affects your leaning speed. Quick answer? No, it does not. Myth number 5. Longer barrels affect your gun with the aforementioned speed penalties. I've already checked against the lowest ergo gun I could think of, but just to be sure, I modded an M4 with the longest barrel and the shortest barrel specifically to test speed and sway. Here we go. So no, it does not change your strafe speed, it doesn't add more sway while strafing, and it doesn't slow down your turning or add more sway when you stop turning. In all fairness, these are Tarkov-born myths, and since ABI has a lot of Tarkov-isms in it, people believe that the knowledge crosses over. And some things do. Okay, what do ergonomics affect? 1. Aim down sight speed. 2. Arm stamina drain while you're aiming. 3. Speed of reloading and checking magazines. Maybe we'll get to that. And 4. The noise you make when you aim down sights. Here's the question. If we go by the Tarkov logic, every different type of attachment will affect ergonomics differently, meaning a buttstock or handle will increase ADS speed, but will not touch reload speed, for example, or stamina drain. And I have to start this by debunking reload speeds. Why? Well, let me demonstrate. Here's the default M4 build, and the same build but with a 100-round mag, which is supposedly -10 ergo. Let's compare the mag check speed on both. Absolutely no difference. What? Okay, here's the reload speed on both. I'm sorry, game. What? Does this mean that ergo affecting reload speed is an absolute myth? Not exactly, check this out. Here's a U191 with the default mag and a 75 round mag. I am holding down the fire key while checking magazine. The larger mag does not let me shoot immediately after I'm done with the animation. And then the reload animation is entirely different, so yes, in this case it is slower. Okay, here's a T191. In theory, it's the same big mag, so the effects should be the same. In reality, after checking mag, I can shoot immediately, so there's no difference between the stock 30 round and the 75 rounder. The reload is still slower. Okay, let's try the T951 again with the same 75 round mag. This time the mag check speed is slower, the reload speed is the same. Okay, let's check an AK-12 with a regular AK mag versus a 95 rounder. Mag check speed is much slower. Reload speed is the same. I'm not done though. Here's an AMB, 30 rounder versus 50 rounder. Same mag check speed, same reload speed. Okay, here's an AEK with a 100 round mag, that is minus 10 ergo. Same mag check speed, same reload speed. Okay, HK30 versus HK60. Are we getting the point yet? This is entirely random. Next question: if I am reloading from a small mag to a big magazine, or vice versa, which one slows me down in reality? As you probably have guessed it, since it is tied to animations and not stats, swapping to a bigger mag is the slower process. Reloading from a big magazine to the small one is business as usual. Okay game, I'm going to take one of the affected weapons. The AK-12 with a large mag showed significantly slower mag check speeds. I'm going to take this AK-12 and put more minus ergo attachments on it to see if they slow it down further. They do not. Okay. Now, with the same AK-12, I'm going to put as many plus ergo attachments on it to see if I can speed up the mag drills. No effect. Okay. So here's my theory. Mag check speeds and reload speeds are not tied to your ergo, despite the game claiming this in the tutorial. They are unique to every weapon, magazine and animation. So that's another semi-myth. Do big mags affect your ADS speed? Yes, there is a minor effect, a couple of frames maybe. Again, it could be weapon dependent, but as far as I've tested on most guns, it's very minor. Do big mags affect stamina drain speed? Yes, here's an AK-12 with a regular 30 rounder versus the 95 rounder. We can see that stamina drops a bit faster with the big mag. Okay, now let's move to the other attachments. How do scopes, buttstocks, grips, lasers and muzzles affect ergonomics? First up, red dots and scopes. Let's test the -1 ergo bat ear versus the cheapest red dot with -5 ergo. On an AK-74N, there doesn't seem to be much difference in ADS speed, but the cheaper red dot does drain stamina a little bit faster. So I tried it with the lowest ergo scope too, which is the thermal scope with -19 ergo. There is a small difference in ADS speed, and obviously the heavy scope drains stamina much faster too. but I had to try it on a sniper just in case. Here the ADS speed difference is much more pronounced, and again the lower ergo scope drains stamina much faster. But next question, can I compensate for the loss of ergo with attachments? Here's the 49 Ergo M24 versus a decked out 67 Ergo M24 with the thermal scope. And yes, ADS is snappier even though it's a much heavier scope, and stamina drain is much slower. Good to know that scopes are not tied to a simple animation, you can actually manipulate them. Next up, how do front grips, stocks, pistol grips affect ergonomics? First up, a simple +8 ergo stock on an M4. ADS. On our ADS test, we can see that the +8 stock is a couple of frames ahead already. Interestingly enough, putting the weapon down is the exact same speed on both variants. Arm stamina, let's see, the +8 ergo stock improves our arm stamina. And yeah, we definitely get a measurable result, not a huge one, but it's just +8, so that's fine. Check mag speed, just for giggles, I had to check this. A +8 ergo stock does not seem to add absolutely any speed to the check mag animation. And for the reload test, again, we get exactly the same speed from the default build and the +8 ergo stock. Now that we have this baseline, let's compare a +8 ergo front grip versus the +8 ergo stock and see if they affect the weapon in any different way. ADS, interestingly enough, the stock is about a frame faster for ADS speeds. I do sync the clips to the frame where my focal center dot disappears. However, it could be randomness due to recording a high frame rate game down to a 60 FPS video. Arm stamina drain. At the very start of our arm stamina test, we can again see that the modded stock M4 is a frame ahead of the modded grip M4, but for the rest of it, stamina drains exactly the same on both. Yes, the +8 stock model drains my stamina a few frames earlier, but that's probably because we entered ADS a couple of frames earlier too. Check mag speed. We already established that the +8 ergo stock does not change that at all, and here we can see that the +8 ergo grip also isn't doing anything for the animations. Just to be thorough, here's a reload test, no difference. From here we can deduce that stocks and front grips both affect ADS speed and arm stamina drain, and stocks maybe a little bit better, but more likely not. They do not affect mag drill animation speeds. Lasers. Okay, a blue laser is -1 ergo and a green laser is -5 ergo. Does that change anything, and should you care? In my tests, an AK with a blue laser is like a couple of frames faster to ADS. And there's a small difference in stamina drain speed as well. But mag checking speed is the same, and mag reload speed is the same. Muzzles. Alright, final stretch. How do muzzle adapters affect ergo? I'm using a U191 because its silencer is rated at -5 ergo, which is, I think, among the worst ones. For ADS speed, it slows me down by a few frames. And it drains stamina a little bit faster too. Mag check speed is the same, reload speed seems to be the same, but check this out, when I look at the sound waves in my video editor while comparing the clips, it looks like the -5 ergo silencer is about a frame faster to shoot than the naked U191. At this point I am tired and not at all surprised. Pistol grips. Alright, one final semi-surprise. Here's a +9 ergo pistol grip versus a +8 ergo buttstock. ADS speed seems to be about the same, but there is a noticeable difference in stamina drain speed. Pistol grips seem to be oriented more towards stamina management. So, final question, what about these stocks that are combined with pistol grips 2-in-1? I took this one, which is plus 10 Ergo, and I matched it to another M4 that had a plus 7 Ergo pistol grip and plus 3 stock. The results were absolutely identical, so I guess the combo grip is actually a combo grip between a pistol grip and a stock. Alright, one final note, low Ergo does make it much noisier when you aim down sights. If you've played with a sniper on your team, you've heard this, but I cannot test this alone, so I'm sorry. So, conclusions? Ergonomics do not affect movement or weapon swing. Ergonomics do not affect mag check or reload speed. These are entirely dependent on the different weapons, different mags, animations tied to them, the phase of the moon, and the developer's mood during the development of this particular season. Unlike in Tarkov, all your attachments affect ergonomics evenly, more or less. Whether it's a red dot scope, buttstock, pistol grip or front grip, they all affect ADS and stamina drain equally, though pistol grips seem to be oriented more towards stamina management than the rest of the attachments. You may have also noticed that drastic stat shifts like plus 10 Ergo don't really bring a lot of benefits, as the weapon just seems to have a behavior profile that you can't modify too much. That is something I want to dive in with the next video. In fact, this entire video was supposed to be a simple attachments guide, but when I discovered the Ergo glitches, it turned into a rabbit hole. So, see you on the other side.